Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. So, how many times have we heard this? Less meat consumption is better for the climate, right? All the bullshit coming out of AOC's mouth of about cow farts and everything. You know how you know it's negative for the planet. We need to get rid of all the beef cattle or the chickens, the poultry, the pork, whatever would be, in the interest of saving the climate. If people would only eat less meat, we could save the world, right? We've all heard this. Well, I want you to stop and think about something real quick, because this is not about saving the world. This is about completely taking over the world. Power, which we all know that's what every one of the powers that be's radical ideas is about. It's not about making life better for everybody. It's about getting them more control. Okay? And it's getting a lot closer. You got to think, when authoritarians want to get the people to do something, the first thing they do is try to make you feel like you're doing something that's better, that you're actually the one initiating the idea, okay? As opposed to them forcing it down your throat. That's the psyop that's going on. Don't believe me? Let's go back to spring of 2021 and all the idiotic things that people were doing around the world, between not leaving your house, wearing a face diaper, plexiglass shields, standing 6 feet away from each other. All those things that had no effect whatsoever, but gave them control to take it to the next step, which of course was this thing, all right? Which we all know how that's turning out, like we all said it would, okay? The next one is food. And what they are trying to do is twist the scenario whereby if people don't eat animals, it'll save the planet. And so you'll have all these people going, I went vegetarian, I went vegan, so I can save the world, right? Okay. You probably know somebody who said this. Now, I'll give you this. The building block of most living creatures is protein. It's what builds muscle. If you stop eating protein, you turn into a weak little pansy-ass soy boy, or in other words, a Democrat, okay? You're not going to see a vegan bodybuilder. You're not going to see a vegan Olympic swimmer. Think of Michael Phelps's breakfast, if you remember those stories. You're not going to see a vegan special forces operative. Anything. Nothing wrong with veganism or vegetarianism or anything like that. If you want to do that, that's up to you, okay? The problem is most of us don't, because we need the proteins to build our bodies, to build our strength. In an SHTF event, guys, what you are absolutely going to need is strength. In a war, what you are going to need is strength. You know, if you have to hike a couple of miles, okay, God knows how many of us could even do it, all right, just because, okay. If you don't have any muscle mass built up, you aren't going to be able to do it. If the Chinese come over the hill and you need to fight back, you're going to need muscle mass to do it. This is the war that's going on. And if you think it's not coming, I'll lay this all out for you. Remember a year ago, all the bad poultry feed? Okay. All of a sudden, the chickens weren't laying eggs. Eggs are a good source of protein. Okay. Hey, we can stop egg production. Let's just change up the feed. That'll stop everything. Avian flu, bird flu, right? Oh my God, everybody all of a sudden, I can't eat chicken. It might be tainted. Yet chicken's about the most affordable protein there is for people. Okay. But if they could stop us from doing it. We see the war on cows. I hate using the war on term, but that's pretty much everything anymore. As how bad this gets, right? Look at what's going on in Ireland right now. All right. Ireland wants to basically kill off 200,000 cows to meet their emissions reduction goals. Okay. Now, what does that mean? That means the average Irish person is going to have less meat to eat, which is the idea. Okay. It's not to meet emissions reduction goals. It's to take the protein source away from the Irish people so they can't fight back. 200,000 cows. Sounds like a lot, right? Let's put this in perspective. Ireland has a population of just over 5 million, under 5,100,000 people. So that means 200,000 cows. That would be one cow per 25 people. Okay? That's what they're trying to kill off. If you extrapolate those numbers to the population of the United States, where we have roughly 350 million people, that means to have the same ratio, the United States would need to kill off, get this, 14 million cows. Okay? So imagine us killing off 14 million cows. There's no more beef. Okay? Beef's already ridiculously expensive. Think how much more expensive beef would be if we had 14 million less cows. Then we have no beef to eat. But, see, this works totally in line with what Germany's promoting right now, okay? The Lower Saxony Chamber of Agriculture, okay, in Germany, has recommended now that if the Germans reduce their meat consumption to 10 grams of meat per day, that will reduce their, or that will increase their climate goals by 1 percentage point. They'll get that much closer. Do you want to know how much 10 grams of meat is? 1/3 of 1 ounce. Want to put that in perspective? Go get a pound of bacon, make it for breakfast this morning. Take 1 strip of bacon, cut it in thirds, and eat 1 piece, about that long, slice of bacon. That's the entire amount of meat you're allowed to eat today. That's what they want to do, okay? This is what the German Nutrition Society is recommending. Why? To combat global warming. Isn't that convenient? If we make you so weak that you can't get out of bed, okay, you have no muscle mass, whatever, to stand up. Gee, I remember pictures out of Germany of people that looked like that. What was it? Maybe about 80 years ago. People had no muscle mass, could hardly move. Wow, what a concept out of the Germans. Okay, starve the people. Where have we heard that before? This is why it's so important to stockpile animal protein of some sort. Okay, and I know you can say, well, you're going to get protein from beans, from legumes, and stuff like that. Yes, you will. It's not the same, guys, okay? The amount of beans you would have to eat, AOC is not going to have to worry about cow farts. Human farts would be crazy, okay? Oh my God, you've got to stop eating beans, okay? You've got to stop eating protein. That's what they're trying to get us to do. They're, like I said at the beginning, at first they're going to try to make you want to do it. Oh, if I eat less meat, I'm going to be doing something good for the climate. That's what they try to get people to believe. And it didn't work. And so now they're going to push it a little bit further, and they're going to push it a little bit further, and they're going to push it a little bit further until they get to the point where, well, you know what? We tried not to have eggs produced. That didn't work. We tried to scare them with the avian flu. That didn't work. We tried to jack up the price of food so much. That didn't work. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to outlaw animal protein altogether. That's what's coming next. That, we'll hear, another episode of swine flu. We'll hear another episode of mad cow disease until the point where, like Ireland, we just need to cull the cattle herd. Sorry, public, there is no more beef. Remember the good old days where with the commercials for the incredible edible egg or beef, it's what's for dinner? Remember those? You'll never see those again. They don't want it. They want a weak population with inability to fight back, where they can just walk in just like the Gestapo and say, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. We want to take away your guns. We want to take away your protein. We want to take away your house. We want to take away everything. So we control it all, and you can't fight back. This is exactly what they mean when they say, you'll own nothing and be happy. You'll own nothing and you'll just be happy. Oh my God, I get to spend one more day with my kids or my spouse before I starve to death, or before somebody walks up to me on the street and doesn't like the way I look and puts a bullet in my head. Hey, how long is it till we all have a little yellow badge on our chest? That's what Democrats, liberals, and progressives are trying to do. As much as they try to call us fascists, they need to go read the definition, because fascism is alive and well in the liberal, progressive Democrat Party, and they are trying to kill us one way or another. Do whatever you can, whether it's cans of tuna, Dinty Moore beef stew, buy another freezer, go get some beef, stock it, stock it, stock it. Folks, we are the last line of defense before this group of tyrannical idiots takes over. They think they have the power. We need to stop them. Pinball out.